Brought to you by paulakers.net.
Day 4, Cusco. And Gina would take me around to all kinds of beautiful locations. But in the morning, I got up really early because it's just another beautiful day. And I walked around the town square and got some coffee. And they're actually filming a movie called Transformer in the local square. And I got some delicious fruit that was cactus, orange, and red. It was so delicious and very inexpensive, only about 50 cents for 2 pieces of delicious fruit. I loved it. It was so good. And I walked around the local fruit market and saw all kinds of great things. I love going to the local markets, and I bought a whole bag of nuts, all different kinds of mixed nuts, and here they're filming a movie, The Transformers, crazy, right in the local square. We are in beautiful Tambo Machai. It's day 4, and that means the cave or the resting place. There's the cave, and you can see this beautiful structure that the Incas have built. Look at these walls, and there's a natural quarry here, or a natural outcropping of rocks. So you see they built everything around the outcroppings, and they have the little windows that they probably kept little sacred things in. And this is like the Inca trail. So you walk this path and it goes to Pisac, and it's about 10 hours away. And then we're going to get a little more information here. So here we go.
Yeah, this is the map of the Tahuantinsuyo, the Inca Empire. Cusco was the capital of the empire here in the middle. From here, where we can see the different regions of the empire, to the north, to the south, to the east and west. So this trail was connecting Cusco with the jungle area, the Antisuyo region. Yeah, so it was going first to the Sacred Valley, and then from Pisac to the east side, where is the jungle area.
And so it looks like that the Incas controlled areas all the way up into where current day Colombia is and down into Chile, correct?
Yes.
Wow, and then basically up against the Andes Mountains. So did they actually control area into the Amazon?
According to some chroniclers, it said that the Incas, since the 5th Inca ruler tried to conquer the jungle area because they could get the coca leaves from that area and a lot of beautiful and colorful feathers. So conquering the jungle was...
Gave them more resources.
Yes, that was the clue.
Again, the 4th day, and look at the weather. How could it be? How could I possibly be this lucky? So as I walked along the Inca Trail, there are these ladies sitting there with alpacas and llamas, and I had to stop and pet them. It was just so special. This guy didn't really want me to touch him, but after a while he got used to me. And remember, we're at 12,000 feet, and at 12,000 feet, I'm doing my push-ups, about 200 a day. Every time I drop to the ground and do at least 25 in all the different locations. I'm always doing push-ups everywhere I go, even with the llamas. I think the llamas thought I was completely out of my gourd, as well as this lady. That's okay. It's always a lot of fun. What do you think of Paul's push-ups? I think the
Gina, what do you think?
You are very crazy. Chingones sin pretextos. Welcome to Puca Pucara, another Quechua word you are going to learn today, which means Puca, red, and Pucara fortress, which means the red fortress. Another Inca site, very important and connected with Tambo Machai, the first place we visit. From the top of those terraces, you are going to have an overview of the upper part of the Sacred Valley and the different fields of crops people used to produce until nowadays. Okay, look at over there. This is the upper part of the Cusco Valley, where we are going to see how people is working their land since Inca times until nowadays, producing a lot of potatoes, quinoa, the lupin, which is very important for our diet. And remember that also the most important during the Inca times was to ensure the production or the overproduction, so they could feed their people even in their worst time.
So the best way to think of Cusco is as Rome. All roads lead to Rome, all roads lead to Cusco.
Welcome to this beautiful place located nearby Cusco called Sacsayhuaman, which means, well, it was a sacred place, but I mean the translation of this new name is the Satisfied Falcon.
So why was it called the Satisfied Falcon? Because they had a huge battle here with the Spaniards, and thousands of people died in this open field. And the Falcons came down and fed on those dead bodies for many days. And finally, they couldn't eat anymore. So the Inca people called it Sexewama. And so we kind of think of it as sexy woman, but it wasn't a very sexy place because it was a place of great destruction. And this was like one of the main Inca sites, and it's a zigzag pattern, and it's absolutely stunning. These boulders are massive. They're so huge, and they're fit together to perfection. And a little bit of it has been restored, but a lot of it is original. You can see the place where they restored it's the small little rocks, but the large boulders are where it's been restored. Now, this is pretty close to Cusco, and a lot of these sites around Cusco, the local people came and used the rocks for quarries to build churches and to build their homes. But of course, the bigger boulders were just too big and they couldn't get those out. And a lot of it still remains just the way it was. Now, look at how these are all fit together. These cornerstones, they are massive. Now, these are like 3 stories tall. It's just overwhelming to see rocks this large. And so they actually had little indentations in them, and they would take poles to push them up on top of each other. How they fit them together, how they moved them, it's a mystery. But remember, this civilization had 14 million people, so they had a lot of manpower. And the interesting thing about it is that this was an agricultural society, and they only could farm maybe 6 months of the year. And then in the times when they couldn't farm, that's when they built all these Inca sites. So they had lots of manpower about half the year to be able to perform all these beautiful architectural wonders that we enjoy today. And so this was a major site, huge field. They had lots of parades, if you will, or celebrations or things to the gods right here, where just thousands of people would assemble in this huge open field and this zigzagging terrace. Now, the terrace was 3 stories tall. So there were 3 different terraces. So, and they just got smaller as they went up. The bottom one was much bigger, then the next one was a little bit smaller, the next one a little bit smaller, and on top is the main temple area. You can see that there. And then across was a beautiful lagoon where they had waterfalls, they had little aqueducts that came down. It was just absolutely a stunning place. And of course, all set up in the hillside overlooking Cusco. And look at this cornerstone, the way it's been fit in there. And both sides are identical. Look at, they take a rock and say, oh, we're just going to carve it out like this. I mean, just doing this in wood is difficult. Could you imagine doing it in a piece of stone like this? And everything is fit together to perfection. Just absolutely awesome. I love the rounded face on this as well. I think it's so beautiful. And then I walked around in the evening or at dusk and started taking pictures, and I went into beautiful art galleries and I saw all kinds of cool things. And then I met this woman from Alaska that was on a hike. She said, hey, I'm going up into the mountains. Do you want to go with me? So I tagged along with her, and she showed me these beautiful Incan ruins that were along the Inca Trail. And I got a beautiful sunset picture looking out over the whole thing. The wind was blowing pretty good. And then I went down in the evening, took more pictures, and I went to a pizza restaurant, and just absolutely stunning. The food was fantastic. I got a great salad. It was so healthy and wonderful. And that was day 4, and it was epic.
Brought to you by paulakers.net, where you'll find all Paul's books and lean resources for free, including the new 2-second Lean Play app, like Audible, but free. To listen to Lean is Lean on the 2-second Lean Play app at paulakers.net.